Hello, Mr. Smith. How are you today? Hello,
Valerie.
Mr.
I'm good. How are you doing? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, and it's Friday the 13th. So extra spooky. If ever there were ghosts in the studio, it's today.
Yeah. I'm looking a little pale. I'm sorry.
You're looking a little pale. You're looking a little Tintin. But it's a look. It's not my least favorite of your masks.
Oh, right,
and
cool.
it looks
That's
like you
a
can
start.
breathe. And I always worry about you get over, like you can't breathe. Breathing is good.
It does help.
I like when people are breathing.
It does help. And weirdly enough as well, it stops me overheating like some of the others.
Oh, good, good. Yeah. Pole vault says breathing is good. And pole vault likes breathing.
Yeah.
And also pole vault says telling someone they are not sexy is not sexy. So I just wanted to...
Okay. Is that an official flock fact?
That's an official flock fact. Also, I want to say hello to Jam Pro Sound is here, and Lorecat W. Danforth, and Andy Babiak. I don't know if I'm saying that right. So he says Mr. Smith is very quiet.
Okay. I can give a bit
Boost the
more
mic, says Andy.
Yeah, I can do that.
Do
if you
it.
want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't change anything, I don't think.
No? There you go, Andy. How's that?
Yeah, let us know if you
Is
want
that
any
good?
more. We can keep going. There's a delay. Sith.
the chat.
Sith is here. Breathing. Sith
You have
also likes
allergic
breathing.
asthma. Yeah, so yeah, breathing is great.
So Andy says it's a little better. So maybe go a little bit more.
I'm throwing you a lot. Can you do it on your end?
I can also make you bigger. Hold on. Hold on. How do I do
I am
this?
throwing you a lot, and I'm throwing you on the mix as well now.
Oh. So.
Hi, Sparky. Hi, John Wiggs. Good to see you. And Paul Volt. It's always good to see you, buddy. And nice one, Andy. Thanks for the sound advice. Andy knows his stuff as well with the sound. He spends a lot of time in the David Barrett trio streams.
Well, I put you up 6 dB. So let's see
6 dB?
Well, you didn't have any dB added. I thought you did before. So maybe I did mess something up. So let me know if you want any more, because it can go up more and more.
Jam Pro says, there you go, much better.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
So,
are you watching Andy too? Are you watching David
them.
too, Andy?
I like people who can multitask.
Yeah, that's cool.
We got John Wiggs here. We've got Sparky, ready to party. And, okay.
And a quick shout out actually for David Barrett, if anybody who doesn't know him. Really, really cool guitarist who, I'm not sure, Andy, has he got a band at the moment, or is he on his own at the moment? Is the trio still together? Because I know his channel's officially called the David Barrett Trio, but he seems to do stuff on his own, and I don't know whether he's still got the band or not. Oh, he's doing a Strat show tonight, okay. Because that's another thing as well, his streams are always a little bit themed, whether it's the guitar or he'll do... he did 2112 and Dark Side of the Moon the other night in one stream, all of it, played the whole lot. The guy's a genius, and he has just such a great sound as well live, it's fantastic. So if you don't know him, it's the David Barrett Trio.
Nuts. I'm going to type in the chat.
Oh. Cool.
I'm
slow.
Have
you found the link?
David
Have you got the link?
Barrett Trio.
Ooh, check that.
I think that worked.
Yay. That's cool. Yeah, you won't be disappointed, anybody who goes there. I am Mix Club. In fact, yeah, you'll like David Barrett as well, Mix Club. Really, really nice live sound.
He's very good. And the chat's very nice.
Yeah, lovely people in there. Andy's come over from David's channel. And we get a lot of really nice people coming over as well. Debs and Daryl. And I think Michelle and Helen as well have been over. Mm-hmm. And it's really good to see people mixing it up.
Yeah. I like it.
And how you doing, Mixie?
And
You all right?
he's just super talented.
Oh, he is. He's awesome. He really is an awesome guitarist. And I think with David as well, he has this sort of encyclopedic knowledge. I mean, how many people do you know that could just sit down on a stream and play Dark Side of the Moon and 2112 complete? It's just, I don't know. It's like, I don't like saying another level, because music's not about levels. It's just about what you do. But he's incredible to see. His knowledge is amazing.
Yeah.
You know.
So we're 6 minutes in, and I already timed somebody out. So
yeah, I noticed. I saw that. But,
so we're doing great tonight, y'all.
Well, I did actually issue a kind of not a warning, but I put a shot across the bows. So at this point, you're gone. Okay. It isn't nice, it isn't clever, and you are now gone on this channel.
Yeah, I think if I hadn't already
that's
dealt with it until earlier today, I'd have had more. And I'm like, I had my fill.
Yeah, and I tried as well.
Yeah, right.
You know, I tried being nice and sort of saying, you know, come on, let's play nice. But
I didn't even warn him this time. So I do want to shout out. Rhett says it's been rough for him. He put mom in hospice at home, so it could be better. So big love to Rhett. No. We're thinking about you and your mama. We've got Brenda's here, Freedom Redbird, and Jade Star.
Jade! Yay!
And
yeah, sadly, Jade, eh? Sadly, some don't.
Yeah, you
know. And the thing is, as well, you know, it's sort of I'm still at the moment. You're out, you're gone. But the thing is, I'll undo that in the near future. And if you come back and behave yourself, then great. But it's just be nice to people, and we're here to talk about music and stuff. And if you want to talk like that, go somewhere else. There's lots of other corners of the internet to talk like that.
That's true. Know? There's some that welcome it.
And this is just not it.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Yeah,
you know,
it's true. And so apologies for being awkward.
Yeah, so that's good. So Deb and Darryl said to pop over to Dave's stream later. I will, Andy. I will if I can, but I think we're going to go for about 2 hours, so I might well miss it. I think I might be playing the replay club on that, and you'll have to tell them that I did say hello, and thanks as well for being so lovely. And I haven't answered Darryl's comments on my last stream. I will get back to that. I've got lots of comments to answer. I will get back to that.
Yeah.
Lauren and Kathy as well.
Yeah, it's not Rhett. You're not in trouble. It's not Rhett.
For once, Rhett. No, you're not.
Justine Casper, great to see you. Okay.
Hi, Justine. Fire heart emoji. Yeah.
So let's get down, now that I've made it all awkward, let's get down to what we're talking about today, and that is tips and tricks and best practices for recording your song. And this, very nice. And I think this is more for, now, you know, there's all sorts of different kinds of songs in the world, and this is pretty specific information for your person who's like playing an instrument and singing, or recording a song that's started as a song and putting it into a DAW, versus sometimes songs are started in the, you know, Logic or Cakewalk or something directly, and then you're building on it, and you're just, you know, that's kind of different.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're coming from the point of view here of if you're writing a song with an instrument, so a guitar, a piano, something like that, a basic checklist, so that you can get what I'd call just a solid demo of the song. So that's not a recording to put out, that's not the final product, it's just a solid demo that then represents the song properly and informs you as to then where it could go, basically. You know, and not only that, it's a demo that you can present to people, and this checklist will stop them turning their nose up at it for reasons that you might not expect. Because some of these things that we're just going to tick off this checklist, they can put people off without you realising, if you haven't realised it yourself. And that puts you at an unfair disadvantage, you know, because it's easy to overlook some of these little tiny things, and it can put people off your recording. So we're aiming to get just a little list to get you to the point where you can record a nice demo that is something that you can pass around to people and then generate into a bigger thing if you need to. Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, say I have a song. Like, here's my song that I want to record.
Yeah.
What do you start with?
Okay, so I mean, I think from a singer-songwriter point of view, being cohesive is always the way. So if you're going to come to record a song, you need, first off, I have a list.
You have a we made a list.
We made a list. I don't do lists.
I made him do
Valerie
lists.
does lists.
I love lists.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say
22 minutes before this stream started, I was writing a list.
Well, we
Can't
had the
believe it.
list already. I was like, I'll type it up and send it to you, and that's where I failed. I didn't do that. But I also want to say hello to Limey, and then goodbye to Andy. He's going to watch the replay. And,
All right, no worries,
then
Andy.
going.
Thanks for coming
no,
over.
I appreciate him coming over. Okay.
Yeah, cheers, buddy.
So, okay,
And hi,
so
Limey.
we've got the song. I've written a song. I've got words. I've got chords.
Yep.
What do I
Okay.
do with this?
Dan, you bring up a very good point there. You've got words and you've got chords. Yeah. So if we're going to come to record it, the first thing I would suggest is you make sure that you have a full format ready. So that means you've got your introduction, you've got all the words to all the verses you want, and you've got the chorus and all the words and all the chords, any middle eight or any bridge, call it what you want, and an outro. So you've formatted the song so it's complete. It's a complete picture before you go to the microphone to do it, because there's nothing worse than trying to tag on an intro afterwards, or
Right.
coming to the end of the song and not realizing that you're at the end and you haven't worked out how to finish it. You know, and quite often that can spoil a good recording. So let's not do that. The first thing is full format of your song, and the best way to do that usually is if your verse is A, your chorus is B, your middle eight's C, and then your intro and outro is just called intro and outro. Yeah. So you've got this worked out, and you just write out your little formula. So you've got intro, A B, C, B B, ad lib to fade, for example. So it gives you a clear idea of the format of your song before you start. Yeah? Point number one. Get your pens out, by the way, or put this into your tablet, whatever you're going to do.
Got a pencil.
So it's a bit like having, if you're going on a journey somewhere, you need a map of where you're going, don't you? You need an idea of where you're going
You
and
need
some
a
of the
map.
steps along the way.
Yes.
You know, it's that really.
I like maps.
Jed Star says, so I'm doing it all wrong as I've written my entire song for September live on the spot in Logic. Yeah. Well, we know, like, somebody like you, Jed, and maybe Leela as well, you do. I'm myself to some degree as well. I can work in that sort of fashion. I can open the door. I can just start throwing ideas around and then eventually sort of get this song to form in front of me. But it is a very different thing, really, to what we're talking about here, because that's very sort of free-form thinking, isn't it, when you're working like that and just chucking ideas around and see what works, and maybe at the end of it, you know, come out with a song.
Well, I think there's also something to be said for a lot of the tips you're going to say are things that you could still tweak that when you've written it, especially when you have like these MIDI instruments that you've written to, and you know, because you know, if you're like, okay, let me kind of put down you've got your verse and your chorus like mapped out in like, okay, this will be a 16-bar verse and an 8-bar chorus, and you know, you've picked the chords you want to pick, and you've put in a tempo and things, but all those things can still be developed as you're writing the song. It's not like you have to stick to the 120 beats per minute that your song started in. So I think it could be for somebody like Jade too, a lot of these things. Even though Jade's an expert, so I'm not trying to be like, we're telling you what to do. But I do want to say hello to Edward Richard and Robert Redmond.
Well, I think with this particular list that I'm coming up with as well, so I think I hear it quite a bit from people that they find recording really difficult.
Yes.
And
you hear it from me.
Well, I hear it from you. Yeah, I do hear it from you. You're right.
I complain about it a lot. I find it hard and soul-sucking.
It is a bit like that, yeah. And I do hear that from a lot of people. And to be honest, I think this really simple, quite short list is a way to avoid a lot of the pitfalls that occur when you're recording. Because it's a stressful time, is recording, isn't it?
Right. No,
I think it's because you're under the microscope. There's this intense spotlight on what you're doing, and I think it changes your perspective if you're not careful.
Yeah.
It's hard to remain objective because it's a personal thing as well. You're doing this sort of outpouring of emotion, usually, aren't you? To some degree. You know?
Well, and it's something you've written that it's like you find it both like this is the most precious song, baby, I ever wrote, and this is the biggest pile of crap that I've ever tried to pull out my butt ever.
And I am useless,
and I suck.
I am useless, and
no one's gonna
anything.
Like this, and everybody will hate me if I put this out. So I have that too.
Well, that's every time I record a song, you know. Well, see, Rich New Design, he's good. He's good at this.
Good to see you, Wes.
He's good at this. He doesn't suffer from confidence issues at all. He just gets up with a bass guitar and makes a song up on the spot. It's unbelievable. And where's that song?
To do it.
How Do I Keep This Girl? Honestly, man, it's magic. I don't know whether you saw my message in the chat. Was I asked if you could send me that finished video on Dropbox by any chance that you cut and put up? I'd be just interested to have a copy of that, buddy, if you could. I don't know. I think you've got my email, haven't you? But yeah, if you can send me a copy of that video, I'd really appreciate it. So yeah, back to this list.
Back to the list.
The list is to try and help with stopping that feeling when we get to the microphone and it becomes a disaster zone of our own ineptitude.
Yes.
Really. You know.
Try not to do that part, guys.
Yeah.
Don't be me. Don't be like me. Start off with a good attitude.
Mr. Smith.
Be Mr. Smith on Valerie. Come out with confidence. Okay, so you got your song, and I'm like, here's my song, and it's got chords, and it's got words, and I say, I've got my format, and I've decided how it's going to be, and I wrote down all the chords, and I wrote down all the format, and then I start my recording and push record.
Nope.
What?
No, not yet. Okay. Don't press the button yet.
Don't press the button yet. What's
not
first?
Yet. Don't touch that one. Don't touch that one. Not that one. No, it's not that one. So, the next thing is to sit and play it through a few times and make sure that you've got the tempo right.
Okay.
Now this is an interesting little area of music, the tempo. Because more often than not, the tempo is dictated by the vocal, strangely enough. Yeah? Not what the drummer thinks it should be, or what
drummers
the guitarist thinks it should be. Yeah, drummers don't know anything. Don't listen to drummers.
Don't listen to drummers. Be careful.
Unless, well, never mind. Don't listen to them.
Yeah, but it's true. Like the words, if you can't say the words too quickly, you can't, you got to get all the words in. So if you're going too fast, it becomes some kind of mumble rap song, and that could be cool. Unless you're going for that, that's it. Yeah,
I think there's a natural with any song that you write. There's a natural tempo for it, and I think you mentioned something that you were writing the other day, and you were talking about the tempo being slightly dragged, and you were elongating the word mistake, so it didn't sound natural when you said it. So there was this change. You've got to change something, speed it up a little bit to just get this word to flow properly. And I think this is really important when it comes to recording a song. The tempo is key before you start.
Right.
And that needs a step back first in the recording, because there's excitement as well. Like you said, I've got a brand new song, baby, and I need to get this song recorded because it's going to change the world, and everything in it.
What drug do you take to make fat feel that way?
For the better. And I'm going to be famous.
I need that
with
drug.
My song. Yeah, we all feel like that, don't we? So as well, this excitement can get in the way of the tempo being right, because quite often when you're excited, it's like being live, isn't it? You tend to play a little bit faster, you know? So point number 2 on our list tonight is the tempo. So base your tempo on your vocal and make sure your vocal isn't dragging and isn't garbled. There's a sweet spot in between. You know? Who have we got coming as well? We've got Fish 1999.
Fish has come in. Also, Dom came in, and we didn't say hello to Dom.
Oh no, hi Dom.
But that's, I think, all Dom.
Good to see you, bud.
Well, Dom is left now. Dom's like, screw you.
I couldn't resist him. Robert Redmond, good to see you, brother.
Yes. So when you're doing tempo, do you do like into your recording DAW? So I use Logic Pro. What do you use to record into?
It doesn't.
I'm
it
just
doesn't
asking.
really matter what you use for a tempo. I use Cakewalk.
Okay, so do you have like a tap tempo kind of thing, or do you just like set the tempo with the metronome and then put it into the DAW? What's your method?
I have a metronome. Well, for example, if I'm writing the song with a guitar, I don't bother opening the door. I don't want to, because the main reason is as well, I don't want to be looking at a screen as part of this process, because
to get the tempo. Okay, so you're just starting with a metronome. So you're just like
literally a metronome. It's
just
on
like
the shelf up there. It's. I remember when I did the interview with Jed. It's my favourite app. Yeah, exactly. I love it. This is it. A real life metronome.
That's my metronome I use to practice. Even though he doesn't believe I use a metronome, he's like, no, you don't. I swear I do.
Yeah. When exactly do you use that, by the way?
I swear I do.
For timing eggs or what?
Oh, I swear I do. I just have bad rhythm. I have to.
No, you don't. You work on a very free-form basis as well. There's nothing.
Yeah.
See, the thing is as well with all this stuff, there's a lot of stuff gets talked about music, but there's not really a right and wrong when it comes to these things. They're just kind of guidelines, aren't they?
Right, but I think it's also interesting just to hear how you do it versus, because I like to use the DAW to have when I'm doing this part of recording, because it helps. Like I do the tempo and then I have the metronome on and I try it and I can really go like 76, 77. 70 too fast 70, you know, it's like I can really fine tune it and then see where I'm at and play it through. Like I'm not recording, I'm just like playing with the metronome time because Logic is pretty easy to use. I mean, it's for dummies. It's pretty.
Yeah, you don't have to look at the screen, do you, when it's clicking?
It's just clicking, and I like the click, and I like the click I have chosen. So it's like it's not too high, it's got no tone, and it's so it's a nice little click for me. Has a big one downbeat. 1, 2.
Okay. Right, okay. Yeah. All right. So do you use a pitched downbeat as well?
It's just a tiny bit louder.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm with you.
And yeah, so I like to do it there, but I can see why you don't have that open yet. So I'm like, okay, so this song's definitely at 77 beats per minute, and I have tested that numerous times. And
we've got that
I've got
sorted, and the vocal
77.
feels good.
Vocal feels good. 76 was too slow, and 78 was way too fast. And 77 was perfect. It was the good bowl of porridge.
It felt good.
It felt good.
It was just right.
Yes.
Right. So, next, riding into the equation comes something. So, I spend time recording people, as we know, and I often come across this when the vocalist comes to do their bit, or somebody first presents a song to me for me to produce. And what I find is that more often than not, they've pitched the song at the very top of the vocal range.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I'm often going too low, but yes, I do a similar thing, but I'm always down here, and why am I trying to sing the song down here? I always have to capo up.
Right, okay.
Because I want to play the easy chords.
I'm not going to say anything.
You should say it.
Well, a fully fledged guitarist would say a capo is a talent compensator.
Yes, and I am not a fully fledged guitarist. I am a chick with a capo. I am, and you know, and I think this is hard for, like, I don't feel like I'm a recording artist, and the idea of recording my songs is hard. I'm a performer. I'm writing songs to perform them, and then to have to record them is just like,
well, it's a separate job, isn't it?
It's the worst. I hate it. Because at least if I'm singing it to you, I can see your reaction and see that, you know, and if you need something like, oh, they think this is too loud or too quiet, you know, I can adapt. I can sing a different song. I can make it shorter. I can be like, nobody needs this third verse. We're going to keep going. And, it's become a medley into another song. So I feel like I have, you know, I'm doing something and it feels like I'm singing to people, and you know, but then this recording thing is hard and soulless and faceless. It's like, you're faceless. Like, I don't know what your reaction is to these things. So it's just a whole, like, recording songs, I think, is just hard.
It is. Hey, Deep Burrito, good to see you.
Hey.
Yes, I think it is very hard. And it's easy to forget that that's basically because you're trying to be in two places at once. So you're trying to be the performer, and you're trying to be the engineer.
Yeah.
And that's tough. It's tough.
If I was a millionaire, I would hire somebody to do it for me.
I can see why. Yeah. I can see why.
But then I'd probably be mad at them the whole time, so I don't know if it'd actually work.
Well,
like,
you
shut
just have
up.
to find you have to find somebody that you can work with. That's all it is, isn't it?
No, that's
You know?
true. I'm sure there's somebody in the world that would put up with me for.
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't
Possibly.
know. I doubt it.
There's 8 billion, so you've got a chance.
No. It's very small.
I don't know how many of them have recording studios, though.
That's true. That's true. So, okay. So we're talking about basically, are we in the right key for the song? And is that just you're practicing it and playing it and saying, can I go a little higher? Can I go a little lower? I'd use a capo, but if you're a real guitarist, you should just play the chords higher.
No,
if you're a real guitarist.
That's why I said I didn't want to say it.
But if you're me, you're going to use your fancy
if you're playing something that's G, C, and D, there's no point.
Look at how many capos I have. I've got one more. Where is it?
Wow.
I have a lot of capos. Now I have nowhere to put them. Damn it.
What's the name for a collective of, well, capos as we call them in the UK?
Capo. Okay. So I don't know. They're just called capos. I have many capos. I don't know. So they're not like a flock of capos. But I have different ones. I have a short one to only do half your thing. And so this is a 3-string, and this is a 4-string, and this is your whole 6-string. And except for this one isn't that great, and this one's better for 6-string.
Nice.
I took a class on capos.
What?
I took a class about capos. Yeah, we learned about how to do all the capo, like where to put capo, like you can do 2 capos at once.
Oh yeah, I've seen this. Yeah, that's cool, isn't it? It is cool.
I mean, I think it looks fancy. You're all like, can't believe you can't work. Like if you had 18 fingers, you could play that, but I can't. It's a chord of capos. I like a flock. Yeah, Robert also likes flock of capos. It's cape I. So however you get to there, you try your different. So in my song, I wrote it in G, and because I'm a crappy guitarist, and so it goes G, C, D, C, G, C, D, C, A minor. And that's it. There's G, C's, D's, and A minors. And so And so I played it, and then I'm like, well, I'll play it up, and I decided capo 3 is where it's at. But then once I did the recording, first one, and sang it, and I was like, oh, I sang it last Friday, actually, at a show. And I was like, oh, this is too high. So I've decided that A is the right key in capoing 2, or playing an A, which is not that hard. There's a B minor. It's not that hard. Yeah, so that was where my sweet spot was, where I'm not too high. I'm not going up into my head voice weirdly.
Head voice.
And I'm not going too low where I'm like this.
And then you noticed this at a live show?
Yeah, when I was playing it, I was like, oh, yeah, this is too high. And I came home.
I'm struggling.
Because it goes up, so I'm like, and I was like, oh, that's too high. And so I went down just a half step, and then it was, that was good.
Yep.
That was comfortable. It still has the nice range where I feel like I'm getting to a good note. Because I have a sweet spot in my going up voice where there's a good note, and then there's like a pretty note, and then there's like, meh. So I try, it's right in there. Where there's, it's still high for me, but it's not uncomfortably high. And then it's not too low, because it also goes very low. Why would I write a song like that? Dumbass.
It's easily done, though, isn't it? It's easily done.
Well, my thing, I have this idea of, like, using this whole range that I don't actually have. I'm like, I should use, like, I'm Tina Turner. I'm not Tina Turner.
Yeah. I hear you. In my head, I am Bono, you know?
Yeah, I A minored it deep burrito. That's right. I'm fancy like that.
I'm going to play a song that I've written with G, C, D, and A minor in later.
Okay, good. Those are good chords.
Absolutely, they're the best chords.
They're easy chords.
The best chords ever.
Because again, like if the chord's too hard to play, and I'm doing a performance, then it's all like I'm like, oh, hold on, G minor 7, and I have to be all look at my. I have to look. I've done this to myself because I have a song that's a G minor, C minor 7, and I have to be all like, where am I? Let me look. And I know it breaks me out a little bit of the song because every time it comes around, which is every 8 chords, I'm like. G minor, C minor 7, and it uses
slight sacrifice on the vocal.
I hope not, but yeah, it's at least I'm not. It turns me away from the mic a little bit.
Exactly.
Hello to Ian Luckett. So good to see you.
Oh, Ian.
It's
good to see you.
I feel like a rock star showed up. Ian shows up.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
E Urban's here as well.
E Urban.
Good to see you.
E Urban's got a new job, and they're a little angry.
Ooh. Oh.
Andy.
The job's making them angry already, and they've only just got it.
Well, somebody ordered 50 balloons, and then an hour later they came and tried to return 50 balloons, and they're like, "You cannot put the helium back in the tank. There's you get the balloon is yours forever now, bitch." And I don't think they liked
that's fabulous.
Urban's. Take on that, but
that's fabulous.
I would have. This is why I don't have a job, because I would have gone off. I'm like, let's call your mom and tell her how ridiculous you sound right now. That'd be all crazy. It's also Ryan Hall is here. We were missing you earlier. We were talking, wondering how you were doing. Balloons are defective. Okay, so. We have the key.
We have the key.
Yes, like that, the key of the song. And then, you're going to sing a song. That's where we're at.
Oh, no.
I got
was
messed
I going to
up.
sing a song now?
Oh, I don't know. I thought you said the GCD thing. I got excited.
Should I do it? Should I play something?
Well, you don't have to because, so I have all these things. I've got my song. My song is complete. It's got the tempo. I have the right key selected and like, this is it. And then my song's completely mapped out. It's got like intro, first chorus, bridge, chorus, outro. I've got it all planned. I know how many bars are going to be for everything. And I've got the tempo and I've got the right key. So now I push record, right?
No.
Oh my God.
I know. Okay.
What do I do next, Mr. Smith?
Okay, so the first thing is, there's often a tendency when sorry, if I say you at any point, I don't specifically mean you. I'm talking you in the general sense of just the you that we're talking about that is writing the song. It could be anybody. Yeah?
Yes.
So the universal you. Now, there's a tendency a lot to strummy, strum, uppy, down, up, down, round, down, up.
You skipped one.
When we're playing an acoustic song, because we want to make it sound full. And we sort of try to play the part of the drummer with the hi-hats and the bass player as well.
So like I would play it performing. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, with this, we go at it with a sort of full approach. Well, to be honest, at the moment, that'll probably get in your way of the song standing on its own properly. So what we need to do is then go back and just go through the song and play the first chord. And don't do the strummy strum, up, down, down, up, down. And literally play the chord as the chord happens in the song. So there's no strum or anything. And it's just the melody set to the right chord.
So you're just playing it on the first beat of each bar. Now,
whenever there's a chord, play that once.
You skipped a step.
Did I?
Yes.
Well, we're not recording yet.
We're not recording. We're just practicing.
No, we're going through it.
We're going.
Okay.
Okay. My bad. You didn't skip a step. Practicing doing the first chord, or doing a chord on the first beat of each bar.
Yep.
Beat, and just going through the whole song that way. Because that's a lot different than trying to play it that way. And then also, are you playing? Like there's a difference between I'm playing the song and I'm like. Or if I'm like...
Whatever, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, okay. So you just want to hit the chord. Okay, okay.
I get on my knees from dusk till dawn and offer my prayers
I want my 3 cents.
In words and in song. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da.
You don't know the words to my song? Okay, no. Then we'll pretend you did. So you've gone through practicing. You're just playing you're not strumming it all the way through. You're just strumming the first thing. Okay, so now I push record?
No.
Oh my God.
I know. Now, the most important step of anything. Tune your guitar.
Yay. So, do you have any preference of how you're tuning your guitar versus like a little snark thing, or are you tuning it in the DAWs tuner thing, or what's your tuning secret? You just harmonically?
Now then, the tuner conversation.
Tuna.
Because there's a bit in this conversation.
Let's everyone say tuna.
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 So every tuner has a sort of tolerance as to how finely tuned it is. Yeah, they're all roughly right, but if you're going to come to record in your DAW, there's no guarantee that the tuner that you're using on your guitar will actually tune exactly the same as your DAW, believe it or not. Yeah, they can have a discrepancy between it. Now you build pedals, don't you?
I do.
And you know yourself. Valerie builds pedals.
I build analog guitar pedals.
Yes. Now then, you know about these little tolerances, don't you? Where one pedal can be slightly different to the next, and that actually applies to tuners. And there's this little tolerance. So at this point, if we're about to record in the DAW, I would strongly suggest to everybody that you use the tuner in the DAW. Okay. Because the tuner will be perfectly in tune with your keys in your DAW. Right.
And it stays the same all the time. Your tuner can be affected by your battery.
Your battery, exactly.
Things like that.
Exactly. So the best tuner to use at this point, when you're recording and building it, or when you're writing, and building the song up, just use your little snap-on thing or whatever it is that you use.
I like to start with that to make sure I'm in the neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's always good to be in tune, isn't it? But when you come to recording, use the DAW. No, DAW fish.
Is he saying door? Love you, fish.
DAW, Digital Audio Workstation.
Door. The tuna in the door. I don't have shitty tuna in my door.
Why would I put a fish in the door?
Tuna. Okay. So you've now tuned your guitar. You have your piano action, you got the tempo, you got the key, you have practiced your one strum amazing thing.
Yeah.
Now do I get to push record?
Not yet.
Oh my God.
Hold on.
Oh my God.
Hold on. You're a bit keen, aren't you?
I want to just sit down and record the damn song and be like, here you go, world. Here's the song. Enjoy.
Nope.
I'm done here.
No.
I'm not tuning.
No.
I'm not working to the metronome.
No, I've done
I'm
it. I've done it.
just going. Okay.
Can we go now?
Can we go now?
Right, no.
This is why I do the
No.
video recordings. I don't have to deal with all this. Okay.
No.
So what do I do
No.
now? Not just me, but you.
So, what about me? Yeah, me.
Either you out there, not Mr. What do you do?
So, my suggestion is you don't approach the song as a complete take. Mm-hmm. So, we do it in sections. So, you use the DAW realistically how it was designed to do multiple takes of multiple things. Mm-hmm. And then what you can do is choose the best. So, there's nothing worse trying to record your song, doing the intro, doing the first verse, doing the chorus. You just get to the little turnaround before you do the second verse and you cock up the guitar part. Well, you're starting again, unless you can drop in. Well, if you've been doing the strummy strum, you can't really drop in as well. What's this? So everyone about... Yeah, exactly, Ian. But it has healing properties.
It's healing. It's special. I think so. I mean, I think, as long as everybody in your band is up for it. I'm my own band, so I'm up for it. So I'm going to stop you here because what I like to do, I don't know, I'm not saying this is a good trick or something, but no, this is just what Valerie does. Valerie first recording, got the tempo set up, I got everything set up, I feel like I'm good. I have it in tune, I'm ready to go. Now I do one take where I'm doing a one microphone, everything's going in like I do here, and I'm not trying to be separate or anything. I am just laying down, is this, with the metronome, the song one time through, as I had just practiced it, because then I have I can tell what my little parts are. I can kind of see okay, so this part is so now I have a map based.
You got a map, yeah.
Where I'm okay, so this is the verse. So now I can go back and play the guitar well by itself where I'm just plugged into my guitar. And maybe I actually usually do too. I have a mic on it and I'm plugged in. And I record those two lines.
Yeah.
And then I will do more of a comping take. Kind of a thing. And so...
Is that as a visual aid for you on the screen?
Yeah, and also I just like to listen to it all the way through one time before I do all the little takes. I just want to hear the whole thing as I've rehearsed it and then be this is what I think it is. Is that...
Deep Burrito's just made a good point.
Well, what is Deep Burrito?
We're going to come to in a bit. And he says we record 3 or 4 hour jam sessions and pick out riffs or passages 2 days later. I'm going to come to that very point in a bit. Deep Burrito, good point.
Yes. Also, Coldacre's here. Hello, Cold.
Hey, Coldacre. How you doing? What was it you said? Oh, yeah, you look like a Cyberman circa 1960. Ooh, I'll have a
1960s. That's before my time. I got to look that up because I'm too young. Oh, is that what that is?
Doctor Who? I remember it. I'm 93 now.
I like Andy says Valerie is always right. So Andy wins the chat. 100 points for Andy tonight.
Yeah, I think I've said that to her as well, Andy. I think I have said that.
No, you've never said that. Oh, it's James the Jackass. Who could that be? Hay cold. James the Jackass says, "Hay is cold." Good job. We don't know who that is.
No idea, not a clue.
William Hartnell's Doctor Who.
I thought it was Doctor Who, right? Got
okay, I have to look at that one.
What even was that noise?
It sounded bad.
Yeah, didn't it?
Yeah. Okay,
don't
so
know.
so I'm not saying my thing, but I like to go through it once and lay everything the whole way down, and then listen to it one more time before I keep going, just to be like, is this what I think it should, like, is it real? Because once I hear it, sometimes it's a little different. Sometimes I then go, oh, actually, it's a little faster. I can hear it right now. Like, I don't need to move on. I don't need to, or that part seems like I'm stressing my voice right now. I need to, like, drop this, and I was wrong. And I hear that sometimes in that first take.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you that
That
one.
I can't
Yeah,
hear
I'll
when
give
I'm
you that one.
performing sometimes. Like, I don't, because
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
Like this, I hate hearing my voice on this because I'm like, how do you listen to me?
I've got used to it now, hearing my voice. I used to hate it as well. I've just got used to it. Learn to ignore it.
No. That's why when I do my streams by myself, I can't hear myself. It's awesome for me. It's hell for all you, but it's your choice to be there. Okay.
I don't watch my streams back either. That just blows my mind,
Oh, I don't watch them now. I can't do that
Can't
either.
do it. I occasionally have to go back and see something in the chat or get a message off somebody or something, or edit the description or something. But no, it does my head in listening to myself. But speaking like this, I think I've got past it because it's like a mix scenario to me. So that if it sounds right in my headphones, we're getting the sound right.
It's because you sound like
So it
you're on the
gives me-
radio. Like you have a good voice. I think it's different. I sound like a weird frog. Okay, so you have a song. Now, when you talk comping song, let's see if it's the same as what I think it is when you're comping song, because I'm guessing different doors or DAWs or digital audio workstations work differently, or are they all about the same? So for me, I make a little, like I'm repeating bars 4 through 12. And that's my little chorus or whatever. And I put the repeat on and I push record and it just records it over and over and over. And then I'll have like 12 takes of it.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
I'm
That's what we're
amazed.
doing.
I'm
So
amazed
we're
that
going-
I understand this. 100 points for Valerie. Okay, let's go.
Well, there is a different way of comping as well. So when it comes to a sort of a band comp scenario, so like Deep Burrito will be doing, there'll be, as long as you're playing to the same click on every take, then you can comp entire band takes. So, for example, if you've got a 3-piece band and you've played the track 10 times, you might use the first half of take 1 of the drums and the back half of take 7, but you might like the entirety of take 3 on the bass, and you might like none of what the guitars did
Yes.
across all 10.
Guitars.
So you've comped your drums, you've comped your bass, and now you just need to go back and re-record the guitars kind of thing. So you can comp it in that sense as well with complete takes. But that's not really what we're doing here. We're comping inside the song. So we're going for sort of maybe 6, maybe 8 takes of each. So 6 or 8 takes of your verse on a loop, and then onto your chorus. 6 or 8 takes of your chorus.
I just learned who Cyberman 1966 is, and I'm just like, exactly. We should get you the hat, but yes.
Really?
Okay, very excited. Okay, I didn't mean to mess that up for you there. Okay, so we've comped the song, and you're doing. So, were you doing the first take? You're doing multiple takes right off the beginning.
Well, yeah, so just record your verse on a loop, do 6 or 8 takes, move on, record your chorus on a loop, record 6 or 8 takes, do the verse, second verse, 6 or 8 takes, and go all the way through each section of the song, 6 or 8 takes. However, while you're doing this takes up a lot of time. So
That sounds like
verse-
forever.
Yeah. Yeah, now a verse might only be 16 bars or something, or 32 bars maybe. And to do 6 takes, or 8 takes, that's almost like singing 3 songs back to back, effectively. It takes a while, you know? So, key to this is, when you're recording this, you've got to take regular breaks. Now, you won't want to, because you'll be on a buzz, and you'll be getting a kickback from it. There's a chemical kickback from this
This helps if you have a
situation that you're in.
45-minute necessary, like, drug addiction or something.
Timer.
Yeah.
That would help. Yeah, if you need a crack pipe every 45. Oh, look at that. Oh, right, that's scary. Look at that.
Is it like looking in the mirror?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
hold
just
on.
not
I'm
seeing
like,
me.
right? But the hat. We need to get you that hat. I feel like you could make that hat. You're handy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're good on this, guys. Good job. Good job.
All right.
Go team.
Thanks for that. Thanks for that.
Okay.
That's my next outfit. Thanks for that. Mm-hmm. So
I did not know.
regular breaks. Regular breaks.
Regular breaks. So take regular breaks every 45 minutes or so.
Every 45 minutes, yeah. Just step outside the room, turn everything off, take your headphones off, turn everything off, get out of the space, just for 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes.
I think
But
taking your
regular breaks
headphones
are
off is a
important.
big one because the headphones always squish my ears. And then I get mad. And I'm
Yes.
like, why am I so mad? And it's because
Yeah.
of my headphones are
And
hurting
they
my
almost,
head.
well, after a while, they almost cause auditory hallucinations, headphones as well.
Oh, I believe it.
Because our ears are particularly attuned to hearing 360 sound and to be able to determine where things are coming from. In headphones, that's not the case. And after long periods of time wearing headphones, strange things can happen, and you start to orientate sounds differently, and it's not healthy for your brain, really.
Yes. So do healthy brain things. And
Exactly.
let's take a break real quick and say hello to Frank Terzo's joined the chat. Hugh
Hey,
Caldwell.
Frank.
Did I say hello to Hugh? I can't remember. I saw him earlier.
Hugh!
I have it short. Shizak is here. Love me some
Shizak,
Shizak.
nice one.
And, okay, I think we've said hello to everybody again. Okay. So Deep Burrito has to tuck their ears into my headphones.
Interesting.
Depends on the size of your. I did get big headphones to go over my big ass ears. So
Did you?
Yeah, I was like, oh, these are nice because they actually fit. Some of them are too small. And
I'm a fan of earbuds.
I have
I like
large ears.
earbuds.
Yeah. I have the earbuds also have the same issue where then after like 45 minutes an hour,
Yeah,
they hurt my ears.
yeah.
Because I have small ear canals. I have large ears and small ear canals.
Ooh, right.
So
Okay.
I'm very difficult. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. Okay.
Well, so you naturally do breaks quite regularly with headphones then?
Well, also I have a really short attention span, so I'm like, just walk away, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I was recording a song, and this is let's go back.
You end up watching YouTube or making a bracelet.
Right. I am like squirrel. And
Ooh, shiny thing.
yeah. Wait, everyone is now like, she does have very large ears. Great. I pointed it out. Hugh also has the tight ear canals. I am special fish. So Mick says, I can't take breaks. I lose what I'm doing and it takes forever to get back, but maybe that's more with mixing. But I feel like anytime you have to wear them, it's good to... My ear got itchy talking about ears.
Yeah, I used
Yeah.
to be the same, Rhett, and if I'm honest, I used to try and convince myself that I had everlasting batteries and that I could do something like mix a track for 3 hours at a time. And since I got into the habit of regularly stepping away from the mixing desk, I've found things are much more efficient, and I don't get as tired at the end of a session when I do it.
Right, you can go longer in the end because you've taken breaks.
Exactly.
It's like the same for
exactly.
performing. I think like I'll be like, I can play for 3 hours, but if I really take a couple breaks, then I'm have a better 3 hours.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It provides a bit of a longevity that wouldn't have been otherwise, definitely. Mm-hmm. And I think it just keeps the brain fresh as well. It stops you falling down rabbit holes that you wouldn't have, that you won't go down. you know.
Okay, so I have recorded I've got 12 takes of every part of my song, vocals and guitar, and I have been recording now for 8 days, because how long would this take? I don't even know. If my song is 12 minutes long, we're in trouble.
Why have you written a 12-minute song?
Because I'm in Genesis.
Oh, right.
Because I'm a prog rocker. Well, you know, even no matter what you write, right, it seems like way too long once you've sung it 3 times. You're like...
Yeah, who are you, Bob Dylan?
Yes. I wish. So I've recorded the song, and I'm like, this is awesome, and I got 12 takes. So now I should go back through all the takes and do a mix down and call it a day.
No, now you're going to turn your door off and walk out of your studio and close the door and go home and kiss your loved ones and have something to eat and go back to it a day or 2 later. You're going to ignore it. And it's really hard to do. So
how does this feed my dopamine response of wanting to just like get it all out and done and show the world and be like, ta-da! Which is what I want. I just
validate me now.
I want immediate validation for the song I have just written an hour ago. And the funny part is I do this all the time. I'm like, hi, I wrote this song 25 minutes ago. I'm recording it right now.
You do. Yeah, you do.
And that's the only time you'll hear that song. Because that's the only way I'm doing it. I'm like, there you go.
You are something on your own, though, aren't you, in that respect? Because I think so. You're
a dopamine addict.
Validation addict.
Validation addict. Like me, ever love me.
Love me. Like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe. Well, no, you actually come from. I think your songwriting seems to mainly stem around live performance. Am I right?
Yeah, well, that's, you know, when I'm writing, so we talked about this before. I'm writing songs. I'm writing a song that I can perform myself with, you know, usually with an acoustic guitar. Sometimes I write a song that I'm like, okay, I have to play electric guitar for this, but sometimes I have shows that do that. So it kind of works, but it's still like, there's just me. I'm not playing with the drummer or a bassist or a cello, it's just, I have no friends. Yeah. I am by myself on a stage with a PA system that I brought all my own, and then I am playing this guitar, and it's just me. I have a harmonizer pedal, but I rarely use it. But there's just me, and so I want to have a song that I can perform by myself to people, and that and then they'll all clap for me. They'll be like, yay. And so, and then I'm like, yay.
We love you.
And then I feel good for like 12 minutes, and then I'm like, I'm miserable and everyone hates me. Like
until you have to pack down the PA.
Yeah, and then I'm like, this is stupid. I'm never doing this again until next week. So yeah, there is the part where I am just wanting to like, and I, you know, record. What does it mean to record a song for me? I don't know, because I'm just like, there's just me and a guitar and I sing the song. So I'm just like, so the recording should just be me singing the song.
Yeah.
Ta-da. And then every once in a while I'm like, well, maybe I could add a harmony line or something. Or, you know, if it had some bass, it could be kind of cool. And it's also like, but it feels weird to me. Like I have it feels like I can't reproduce this, and people are going to come and listen to me play it live, and it's just going to be me on the guitar, and they're going to be like, what happened to the other 4 voices?
Yeah, I get you.
And I'm like, they didn't show up. It's just me.
There is no band, it's just me.
It's just me. So disappointment. You're welcome.
So you do it very much from that standpoint, don't you? But Frank's just made an interesting comment. He says, 2 hours of studio time max is what I religiously stick to. Any longer and my brain is mush. Frank, I can so relate to that, because there's a sort of cabin fever that goes on in a studio as well, I think. It's a little bit like being in a petri dish under this microscope, and everything gets expanded to sort of crazy proportions. and it's a lot to handle in a studio environment, especially as well because when you're involved in this creative emotional expression like recording, it can be a bit of a test mentally to keep it all together because there's a lot going on. You know, you've got emotions flying high, and you're wanting to get it right, and you're paying for it as well. So, Coldacre says, "Not me. 8 to 10 hours. Once I start, I don't want to stop." Yeah, I mean,
hello, Coldacre.
Well, yeah, I'm where Coldacre is. I've learned to do it all my life. I can just keep my batteries last forever. But I do understand that, like, for somebody like Frank, who's the performer, or somebody like yourself, it just gets too much in the end, and I think it becomes. Frank will agree as well. It gets counterproductive.
Yeah, I have
so
really about 3 hours. I think is my. Sometimes I'll book 4 hours in the studio, and then, but I really have an hour that's getting set up. So. And then, and then tearing back down again, like getting everything out. Like I get my guitar out and tune the guitar and move the mic how I want it and put the music out and turn all the things on. And that takes me some time because I'm going to a studio. So I also want to say a big hello to Live to Fly channel, to Loose Caboose. Who could that possibly be? We don't know. 710 is Oil Upside Down. And... I thought I saw somebody. Oh, Jorge. Great to see you, Jorge.
Ryan as well.
And Ryan Hall. Yeah. And Mike Shaner.
Yay.
I said that so loud I heard it in your mic. Woohoo.
Woohoo.
Mix Club says that Loose Caboose is Frank. Sure.
Yeah.
So I like E-Urban asked a question, which I think is a big question for me, as I just spent like 2 days recording a song and I did all the parts and then I'm like, this is stupid and I'm just never putting this out and deleting all of it. So Urban asks, how do you deal with wanting to delete everything? They're in my mind.
Well, I think the first thing is don't have your expectations so high where you think that everything's going to be brilliant. If you imagine you were going to draw a picture or paint a picture, then you might paint 10 pictures. 2 of them will be absolutely amazing. A couple of them will be all right, and the rest of them will be garbage. And even you can see that.
Yeah, I do that too, and it makes me cry too. It also destroys me.
I don't think it should myself. I think because this is part of the creative process. It's where not everything can be brilliant. So don't expect it to be. Is the thing. I think it's more E-Urban. It's more about enjoying the process, and sometimes the process means you just clean it all up and put it in the bin, and you just had a good time doing it. In the same way that sometimes you think your song's going to change the world, and you put it out into the world, and nobody listens to it.
Yeah, but but it's that part where sometimes it can feel like no one listens to it. But there's like somebody listens to it. Like I have a song that I'm pretty sure that Live the Fly channel is the only human who's ever actually listened to this song. But the part, well, I mean, I'm just saying, like it's been out for a while. No, he's the only one who's ever mentioned it to me ever. But I'm like, so it could be like, it feels like crap, but then I'm like, but David liked it. So it feels like there's a little bit like where I'm just like, that's awesome. Also, hello to Summer D. Good to see you in here, too.
Oh, hi, Summer. Hope you're doing okay.
Also, one of the things that I learned from song school, which is, I've been to many times now, but that you need to produce a lot of crap in order to grow something good, because crap is manure. And beautiful flowers grow in poop. So you have to create a lot of poop. Poopy songs.
A tree sheds a lot of leaves to grow big.
That sounds nicer than my poop metaphor, but okay. So there's a lot of crap that you're putting out. And then once you put out enough crap, then your little flower song will be like, woohoo, and you'll be like, look what I made, which is also like the paintings.
You might even get magic mushrooms out of it.
You might. Why am I saying flowers?
I'm going leaves and magic mushrooms.
Right? Oh my God. Yours are better. So you need a lot of manure to create your beautiful, and it's the same with the painting.
You do.
Like I will paint the same painting 8 times until I'm like, no, it's right. And, and it's that it took, I can't just, it took all the times of doing it over and over again to make one that was like the right colors and the right shading and the right size and the right everything about it.
Exactly. And you've just hit on the key to why we've gone through the track and we've recorded 8 versions of the verse and 8 versions of the chorus. It's that exact premise that you're talking about. Now that applies to pretty much everything that we do. Why are you don't text
Phone's
me now.
ringing.
It's just what? Who's texting me at 1:10 in the morning? What is going on? It'll be a YouTube notification. It'll be something silly, won't it? Anyway.
What are you gone live?
You just turn your phone off, Smithy. Turn your phone
Don't
off.
do that. It's your internet.
No. Oh, yeah, well, this is why we've recorded the vocal 8 times, because when we've come back to... So, we've walked away now, haven't we?
We're 3 days later, because we are so patient.
3 days later.
So patient.
We got over the fact that we didn't get immediately validated.
Oh, my God.
Yeah? We dealt with that. We got coffee and dealt with it and cried in a pillow for a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do have a pillow.
Right. So now we're coming back to it. And what we're going to do is we're going to listen to the song. And so we leave it. Take 1, all the take 1s, let them run. Listen to it. All the take 2s, all the take 3s, down to the take 8s. And I will guarantee you that one of those takes across all of that will be nearly perfect. And then any bits that aren't perfect, you can comp in one of the other takes that is. And this is where it's like painting your 8 pictures, where one of them just has something about it. Now, it might only be something that you recognise as being good, or it makes you feel comfortable with it, or it gets you off in some way, or it gives you a tingle down the back of the neck, or,
Good doesn't mean perfect.
Apparent.
Good just means the one you like the most.
Exactly, the one that speaks to you. And then throughout those, there will be that take from every verse and every chorus that will speak to you. And it's a very simple way of becoming a little more objective about yourself and not being so destructive in the process emotionally to yourself. Because if we were stood at the microphone and we tried to decide everything at the time, we're in too heightened of an emotional state to make a proper objective decision. So the fact that we've come back to it in 3 days, now we're not so personally attached to it. It's just a set of recordings all of a sudden. We're not in that moment anymore. And we look for different things. Now we look for the things that turn us on as a listener, not a performer. And that's the difference with this. And this is where you sit back, you judge your 8 pictures, and you can then say to yourself, yeah, those 4 are garbage. These couple are all right, but that one, that's magic.
Right.
And
so you get the best ones, select your best comps. Do you need to change anything about any of them? Want to say hello to Laurie's Mishmash real quick.
Hey, Laurie! Yoo-hoo!
So I do like
Laurie's
Andy.
On later.
Andy points out this recording is taking too long. Where's that squirrel? I do. Part of this goes against my inability to work on something for this long, and then not without getting distracted or depressioned.
Well, art takes patience.
Art takes
it?
patience.
The thing is, it's about diminishing returns. The less you care about what you do, and the less attention to details you put into it. So if you don't tune your guitar, and you don't get the tempo right, and you just sling in a vocal that is a bit dodgy in places, then the return that you'll get from people is diminishing. They won't.
It's true. And this is, we're talking about we can put our song out on DistroKid and have it out on all the streaming services and be real if we just take this extra time to put it down and not just put out the first thing that we make. This time we are talking about me specifically.
Thanks.
So don't put out the first thing and make a real recording where you're thinking of, and where you've tuned your guitar between every take, and you've and Summer D also, man, I meant to write you about this. Summer D also highly recommends The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and I agree so much. This book completely changed my whole life. I wouldn't never. It's like a Bible to me. And I've gone through it a few times now, and every time I do it, because it's like it's a weekly step kind of a thing about creating. So it's not really about recording or songwriting or anything. It's about any artistry, but it really helps you to. And I probably should do this again, because it helps you to do things that we're talking about here, which is not be so personal about every step of the way, and not taking yourself so seriously, and not tying in your self-worth to your ability to sing a song correctly. And what else? You know, just, and then it helps you do little, like my morning pages are part of the artist way. So it's like, you know, ways to get your creativity flowing each day, and ways to feeling in that moment. So that might be a good thing for somebody like E. Urban, who feels a little stuck in how, you know, like, what am I trying to do? How am I wanting to put music out, but feeling that block of, you know, that writer's block, that creative block, that, you know, how do you just get started? Because it has a lot of exercises that you're supposed to do to learn to, because we talked about this, there's, you know, being creative and doing it, and then there's also taking the time to build that back up, like going to the park and going to a museum or going to a concert and reading a book, things that you're doing to feed that creative animal, and not just trying to always be a producer.
Yeah, I think you've got to take the time to be inspired, and I think it's, so a lot of people talk about writer's block or artist block or whatever you call it, where you go through periods where you're not really inspired and you can't really do anything, and you think that you may be losing it. Well, I think it's just something as simple as basically take some time out and go off and get inspired again. Soak up the things in the world around you, and then you'll come up with your artistic response to that. But you shouldn't feel like you should be being artistic all of the time. Right. And this is true. I needed that reminder. But this is... And Deep Burrito says, I love those happy accidents in the jam session.
Oh,
and
Spanish chicken as well, sorry. Spanish chicken. I didn't realise you were here, buddy. Wow, nice one, Spanish.
They just said hello to say goodbye.
Oh, bless you, man. I'll see you in the Troopers or Rob Stream at some point soon, yeah. Nice one, buddy. Bless you, man. Sleep well. What a guy Spanish is.
I feel like me and E. Urban, we should redo. I'll redo it. You should do the artist way with me. We could do it week by week. Yeah, because I feel like it's a good inspirational thing. So if you're, you know, like, as we were saying, like, I'm writing songs that are just like me and my guitar, and I'm playing a song that's just me and my guitar and singing. Now, how is that recorded differently than if you were saying, like, I want to have a full production song and it has drums and bass and keys and multiple guitars, and, you know, so do you do does it come out the same way? Are you doing the vocals the same way? How are those different?
More often than not, they're two separate performances, realistically. So there's a stylization that tends to go on in the vocal when you're doing a full production mix rather than an acoustic mix. So, for example, if you record your song with your acoustic guitar and it sounds lovely, but then you mute the acoustic guitar and you try to get that vocal to translate into a full band mix, it often doesn't. And it's usually down to what I can only determine to be sort of a subtle intent or a different stylization to fit the arrangement, yeah, because the arrangement changes things. So maybe the best way to explain this is to actually show you something.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so I think if anybody was here on the first Sound Sessions stream, then you heard me play a song by a friend of mine, Mike, and it's a song called Paralysed. So what I'll do is I'll play excuse me, I'll play a couple of verses and chorus of Paralysed, but then I'll play it with the full band, and I'll show you the difference in the vocal, so how the vocal can be approached if there's a full band there. So, well, you just hear it. So this is Paralysed by Mike Crane.
only in the head, and only temporarily. It was nothing that couldn't be rewired, it just as easily put to bed. What's your excuse? What's your excuse? No, you're still not trying. Give me a clue. Give me a clue. Is it still down to someone else, or finally down to you? Realize that you can't escape everything you say and all the things that you do. Yeah, there's a price we all got to pay, and at the Bank of Karma your plastic just won't do. What's your excuse? What's your excuse? No, you're still not trying. Give me a clue. Give me a clue. Is it still down to someone else, or finally down to? Is it still down to someone else, or finally down to you? Okay, so that's with the acoustic. Now let's do it with a full band, with some more vocal effects, and I'll show you the different way you could style the vocal for this.
Okay.
Paralyzed, but only in the head, and only temporarily. It was nothing that couldn't be rewired, just as easily put to bed. What's your excuse? What's your excuse? No, you're still not trying. Give me a clue. Give me a clue. Is it still down to someone else, or finally down to you? You realize that you can't escape all the things you say and everything that you do. There's a price that we all got to pay, and at the Bank of Karma your fucking plastic just won't do. Give me a clue. Give me a clue. Is it still down to someone else? Give me a clue. Give me a clue. Is it still down to someone else, or finally down to? Yeah, is it still down to someone else, or finally down to you? Yeah. and only temporarily. It was nothing, couldn't be rewired. I just as easily put to bed. What's your excuse? What's your excuse? Now you're still not trying. Give me a clue. Give me a clue. Which fucking planet do you come from? To which school of denial do you belong? Are you out to lunch or just away from fucking home? Is it still to you, down to your little imaginary invisible friend, or finally down to you? You paralyzed. I was only paralyzed. Only in the head, in the head, in the head. I was only paralyzed, yeah, just paralyzed. Oh, and only in the head, in the head, in the fucking head.
Well, that was a lot different.
A little different, isn't
So
it? It is
you curse a lot less when you're holding an acoustic guitar. That's what I've learned. Also, hello to Emperism showed up. Great to see you.
A nice one, Emperism. How you doing, buddy?
And I don't think I said hello to Shelley Michelle Morrison.
Oh, hi,
Okay.
Shelley.
All right, I think we got everybody again. Okay. Yeah, so people were saying they really liked the bass on that. The bass run makes the emotion in the vocals stand out. Very cool bass. That definitely, like, you know, well, you had a lot of vocal effects happening.
Yeah.
And we we kind of mentioned this before. So when I'm like first recording it, I usually like do like it dry and just like I'm recording it, and then I'm like, okay, and I'll listen one time and I'll be like, well, I could use some little reverb and I could use a little filter and I could use a little EQing here, and then that's what I use to go from.
Yeah.
And you know, like I'll put like some like acoustic guitar thing on my guitar to make it sound strummy stereo or whatever it's called. So, do you, you know, would you record in with those, with your effects to give you that
Yes.
kind of feel?
Yeah, because I'd play them like a guitar effect, because you can lean into them as well. The same way you can play the microphone. So when I was singing that one and I was doing the laugh, you notice I turned away and the laugh, because the laugh's really loud, and so I got the laugh to trigger, but I got it to trigger the delay effect more by going away from the mic like this.
So he's got his mic up here right now.
Oh yeah, the mic's here, by the way. Everybody. So that's working
Yeah.
the mic as well as a performance thing, a bit like playing the guitar and working your amplifier a little bit, you know. And what I had as well, so the vocal's clean, and then it was stacked with a reverb that's actually pre-delayed as well. So there's a 30-second pre-delay before the vocal hits the reverb, yeah. And then on top of that, there's a stereo distorted delay that there's a slight bounce. So there's 520 and 500 milliseconds set left and right. So they almost trigger together, but they don't. They do this little woo in your headphones.
I can hear that in my headphones.
Yeah.
So Jade Starr is offended by your language, and Lori says this makes her want a studio.
Jade, sweetheart, fuck you.
She loves that. She's like, yeah. I do think, you know, like having I mean, you do have an amazing studio too, but I have noticed, so I've started going to the local community studio. We have a recording TV and audio studio for the like local public access channel. And so
Yep.
they have, you a really good computer. They have really good monitors, so I don't have to wear the headphones the whole time. They have, like different things plugged in. Better mic. They have a sound room that's like quiet room, so the sound of the trucks going by isn't all in there. And so that's a lot different than my recording at home with my little interface and neighbors and stuff, because I'm in an apartment. So there's just always some noise happening. That do you think that are there any tricks for if you are, like if I'm here in my apartment and I want to record something and I don't have access to a studio, is there things you can do to get those excess sounds out of your track?
The best advice to give to anybody is to rough it a little bit, and if you have any kind of multi-effects guitar processor, anything like that, then you can use that on your vocal as a live way of doing it to give you a bit of feel or a bit of distortion. You could even use a distortion pedal. It doesn't have to sound great to start with, just to see if it works, isn't it? So for example, when I set that vocal up as well, my initial thought was, there's comments about the bass line. Now, I don't know whether people realise what's going on with the bass, because there's something slightly different going on. Now, I'll play the opening bit with no vocal, just because this could be a bit. Oh, Gary Hubbs, good to see you, brother. Hope you're well,
Perfect.
man. This could be a surprise for people, because this is what I'm talking about, effects here. So when I play this. Okay, that sounds like a nice, full, clean bass line, doesn't it? Yeah? Just nice, clean bass line. So I'll isolate the bass. That's the sound that's in the mix, with that distortion on.
Yes.
But you don't hear it in the mix. You hear that. So I didn't want to do distorted guitars. I wanted to get some subtle distortion into the track, so I did it on a secondary bass track. And then as well, I wanted the vocals to be gravelly, but instead of putting a distortion on the vocal, I just sank it back into the reverb and put the distortion on the delay. You hear it break up in the background. Paralyzed. It's kind of.
It is loud.
Back.
It's squeaky.
Yeah. So sometimes getting the effect on things, it isn't necessarily what you think. It's still a clean vocal, but it was done with After Effect delay with the distortion on that. So there's a clarity to the vocal, and even though you still interpret it as being distorted, it's not. It's clean, but the delay's distorted. So it tricks your brain into thinking there's a distortion, but you still get a really clean vocal. So I think sometimes like this, it's a case of experimenting as well in how you get these effects in as well on the vocal, Right.
I think you gave me the tip of using a high pass filter for when I'm recording, and I've noticed it makes a big difference in my room noise, because I can't turn the fan off. I get hot. So, but I have the high pass filter on, and I don't think you can hear it as much. And I am not.
With all sorts of things that it does. These are letting us hear them mix without the bass line. Do you want to? Well, if I mute the bass line, you just hear that mix. Then
no, I think they liked it with the bass line, like with just the bass line. I think they liked it.
Ah, so you mean with just it? Yeah, got you.
It was good.
Got you. Yeah. Got you. Well, yeah. I mean that high pass filter as well on your microphone. I think sometimes we pick up on things that we're not aware of. So sometimes you'd be listening back to your vocal with your guitar, and if it had a bit of rumbling going on the microphone stand and a couple of bumps and bangs here, you might not necessarily hear them, but you won't like the vocal because of it. And it was just because of a couple of bumps and bangs on the microphone stand.
Oh, yeah.
So that
also,
particular...
I stomp on the ground sometimes when I'm playing because I get excited, and that transfers right to my whole system.
Yep.
And
Yep,
so
it does.
it's helped that I can stomp now freely without worrying about it being so much in the mix, and I just stomp it up.
Yay.
Yeah. 'Cause that's how we do. That's how we do.
Yeah, so back to where you came from with it. Yeah, I think just if you've got access to any kind of effects or a DAW that will run any kind of inline effects, just have a go at something. But what I would say is, it's a very rare occasion that if you've recorded a song as an acoustic version, that same vocal performance will translate into a full band mix.
Right.
I think you would need to retake the vocal and do a different performative approach to the vocal.
So you'd put out maybe like have two versions of the song, the acoustic version and the full band version. And you can.
I would say, yeah, and there'd be two separate vocals, yeah.
Two separate albums, maybe.
Well, not what I mean is, so maybe you've got the acoustic where you present it live,
Sure.
and then you've got the full production version, which would kind of, you
Yeah.
know, and they stand as different things, but there really is a different, I think, because, so you as an artist will know this. For example, if you start with a black canvas, you're not going to end up with the same picture as if you started with a white canvas.
This is very true. Very true.
You know?
Yep.
So the subject on the top of that foundation needs to be appropriate to that foundation. Mm-hmm. You know? So with something like Paralysed and that full band mixed, it needed... in my head, I had the approach that Phil Collins took in Mama for it. It was that vocal stylizing where there was that kind of ha-ha, you know,
Yeah.
that he does. That was the cue for it.
I wasn't expecting that.
Right. What, the loud ha-ha? Was that loud?
Well, when you did it in the song, because it was much different.
I see what you're saying.
Well, and even
Yeah.
like I'd heard a sneak preview, and you did it a little more. Well, not a little, a lot more.
A lot more, yeah.
Yeah. So I just wasn't prepared.
Yeah, it's and the thing is, so then it becomes for you as a performer as well. You've got different avenues of expression. You've got one way to express it as a full band recording, and you've got one way to express it as a nice acoustic song.
Yeah.
How it was originally written,
Right.
and it gives the song itself more life
Yeah.
that way, and a bigger audience.
And I, you know, I have played with a band before, and I've played my songs with a band before, and it's there. You know, that part's also just tricky, like to get that sounding. I don't know how to do it, where you get it sounding like you in your head to get other people to play that. But I do notice that, regardless, I have a different energy when I'm in front of a band. Like, especially if I don't have to play guitar. That's my favorite.
Yep.
That's my dream. My dream is to have a full band that I don't have to bring a stupid guitar to. And they all play the instruments, and I just sing, and I just hold the mic, and then I'm just like, yeah, that's my dream.
Can you do that though? Can you just stand on a stage and just hold the mic with no guitar? I can't do that.
Well, I mean,
feel naked.
I would rather be naked. I would just, because I'm just like, could you all work? Because I would like to just concentrate on the singing and on the being like connection with the audience and like getting to like, because if I'm playing guitar, I have a hard time, like I'm playing guitar and now I have to like try to like sing and interact with the bassist and be like, we're a band, we like each other, pretend, guys,
Okay.
you know. And then, but if I'm just singing,
Okay.
I'm just doing one thing. Otherwise, I'm doing two things. I can do one thing. Well, everybody else is doing one thing, and I'm like, well, I want to do one thing. So, yeah, I would like to. That's my dream. Is one day to have a full band that I don't have to play the stupid guitar.
Hubsy, Andy, we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Nice
Thanks
one.
for being
Thanks, guys.
here.
Well, it's strange that as well, because I know I'm obviously I'm a natural performer, but I still find it almost impossible to stand at the front of a band with no guitar in my hand and just sing. I just can't do it. I can't do it. I feel exposed.
Well, I mean, it's a whole different thing. It's a different.
I just don't know what to do with my arms, for fuck's sake. You know?
I point a lot. I've been to the pole vault school of lead
can you-
singing. You point a lot. You look angry and point a lot.
Are you grabbing and catching the butterfly and
I'm like
releasing the butterfly?
doing kisses.
Right,
I'm doing
okay,
like hand dancing. No, I don't know. But I don't have a word. Like they're hands. Everyone has them. What do you mean what to do with them? Do people think you're hiding? I'm like,
Well, no, I'm used to, when there's music playing, I'm used to doing something.
like
My hands are always doing
this.
something, you know. I'm always but when I'm stood there with just the microphone, I kind of feel like an idiot. Kind of what's this about? You know?
well, I don't know.
I feel like one of the blue men.
Well, you look like. I mean, because
I'd rather not look at Mick Jagger,
I don't wear a mask, so you get to see my face.
You know. What is that? What you really look
And
like?
This is my actual face. And I
No.
like to hold the mic. Sometimes I like to not hold the mic and just be like, I'm singing into the mic, but I'm not holding it. And then I'll take it out. And then I'll be like, now I'm really singing it into the mic. Don't you like this song, everybody? And because I've grown up on MTV and I know exactly what to do with my hands. And we could do that next time. What to do with your hands. Sound Sessions 5.
Sound Sessions 5, what to do with your hands? Are you serious? Well, that means Siegel's coming back into the chat then.
He's gonna make me uncomfortable. I'm gonna be uncomfortable. So Jade likes to just sing without a guitar so she can throw herself around the stage and injure herself. I try not to injure
makes
myself.
sense.
Also, that's the other thing. I'm wearing like cute shoes. So I'm trying to play guitar in cute shoes and sing into the mic. That's 3 things. That's
What?
because you have to balance. You're like balancing. You're not wearing Reebok
Yeah.
high tops like somebody is. You're
I got my dancing boots on.
yeah. No, I either have my cowboy boots, which have a heel, or my high heels, which have a higher heel. And
Well, if you think I'm going to the front and singing with no guitar in high heels, you've got another thing coming for sure. Maybe a Cuban. I can handle a Cuban. Go on.
What?
Cuban heel.
I don't even know what that is. Hold on, I have to Google this.
You don't know what a Cuban heel is?
No. It's like, I thought it was
Seriously?
cigar. I was like, why do you have a cigar on the stage? You can't smoke inside anywhere. I'm really just 3 children in a woman's suit. Yeah, that's true. John Wiggs knows it's hard to stomp in high heels, so don't ask why John Wiggs
Yeah.
knows.
But I'm saying nothing, John, but just be careful, yeah? Watch your ankles, love, all right?
Oh,
Because
why do
once
I
they're
go
damaged,
straight
they're
in?
never the same again.
Okay,
So, you know.
Cuban heels. Okay. I have to take off the Cyberman
I thought you-
1966.
Deep burrito nose. A
Yeah,
good Cuban
they
heel.
knew it.
So effing 80s, mate. Exactly.
Well,
you know?
I'm just saying I don't know what it is. Okay, I own these shoes. And these are my lowest heel shoes.
And you own them. Wow.
Yeah, I mean if I'm wearing these shoes, like then I'm like, I don't know. I'm like as tall as you if I have these shoes on. But yeah, I think I own like this pair. Okay, so this was what oh yeah, Cuban heels. Okay, I was just making sure that I wasn't like making it up. So those black
good
ones,
to see Itchy
I own
Peepee here
those.
as well.
Is it?
Oh,
Who
yeah,
could that
there
be?
we go. No.
Who could that
I could
be?
drum in those. I could play drums in those. Look, they've got nice thin soles on the front, so I could feel the pedals. Because I need to be able to feel what I'm doing.
Okay, that'd be kind of hot. Maybe we should work. Okay, $41. Yeah, they're pretty stylish. But yeah, those are my lowest heels. So I call
Deep
Cuban.
Burrito has those in the cupboard.
Still has Cuban.
Who hasn't
heels
got
too.
these boots? I mentioned Cuban heels, and they all come out, don't they? Come out of the woodwork. I've got them as well. I've got them. You even got them.
Well, I didn't know what they were called. Frank would wear them.
Frank would wear them as well. Yeah, Frank would really carry those off well.
Justine
as well,
would wear 4-inch heels. That's a little
Frank
too
in a
tall for
hat
me.
and Frank in the right hat, like a
Oh, yeah.
black hat. And
Totally.
some decent Cuba. He'd look
Oh yeah,
gorgeous
he
in
looked
that,
dapper.
wouldn't he?
Yes,
Yeah,
I vote for this.
definitely.
Next video, please, Frank. Let's see
Yeah.
it.
I reckon.
Yeah, I'm going to go with like tops 2.5 inch heel. Like I'm not a daredevil.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and a solid heel, like not the little pointy heel you'd wear to a wedding or something.
No.
But like I got to be able to like stomp and dance a little bit. But yeah, I feel like I look cuter. I look taller and thus thinner. So these are important things for lead singers.
Yes, I get you. Yep, I get you.
Yeah.
Andy says he wears Puma Drift Cat 5s. He drives with them next to zero soles. I didn't think shoes had soles, but I think I know what you mean, Andy.
The sole of a shoe is the bottom of the shoe.
I think a sole of the shoe is spelled S-O-L-E. Though.
Well, it is, but I mean, if we're starting with spelling corrections, we're going to start with James the Jackass and Itchy PP.
Itchy PP, yeah. We're going to say Itchy PP's in trouble.
And Loose Caboose. and whoever that could be. Whoever that is.
Yeah. Do we still not really know? Really? Who Loose Caboose is?
It's the same person. You know who it is. I'm not
joking.
telling. Okay, I'm like...
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, no, it's...
I know nothing.
Oh, and it's also poo-poo in my diaper, I forgot.
Oh, he's bringing out the big guns now. Oof.
Y'all are funny.
I love it.
Yeah. So we've gone to what to do with your hands. I don't think that was not on our checklist.
It wasn't, but it was interesting to go there, wasn't it?
Yeah, but
and we didn't end up agreeing on Cuban heels.
We did, and I think we talked about all the things that are for the recording. Now we're not talking about now. You gotta mix your song. We're not even going to talk about that today.
No.
We're not speaking about because then after you do this, what my thing says, walk away again. That's what I wrote down.
That's what we're doing. We're walking away from it.
We are closing the door.
Yep.
And putting away our tuna and our capo. We're taking off our Cuban heels. And we're in it though. We're closing. We're shutting down the computer. I don't know why we have to do all that, but we have But we're taking off our headphones and we're hugging our loved ones and walking away. Pole vault. We will see you soon.
What we should have at the end of that process is you should have a song that is fully coherent. The melody is all there, fully there. It's all in tune. Your guitar part's all in tune, and you can present it to anybody, and they will be able to see or hear the song. And none of those little discrepancies will get in your way and trip you up and make people say, "Oh yeah, that's great, mate," and then immediately turn it off after 9 seconds because your guitar's not in fucking tune.
So is it this point where you would be like, I'm going to now send my song to, Gary Hubbs and see if he'll wants to put the bass line on this? Is that, like you have something that you could like share out if you're trying to do a collab?
This is the point, yeah. This is where it's actually, at this point now, it's what you'd call a skeletal demo. So it's just the song, but it's
skeletal.
It's a skeleton. Yeah, it's just a skeleton of it.
Skeletal.
So it's got no tip to the rhythm. It's got no tip to the arrangement. It's just got the chord on the one and the vocal that runs through it, and the song starts from beginning to end.
Right.
And then from there, that's where we make the baby grow up, basically.
Mm-hmm. You are nurturing your child, where I'm just throwing the baby into the world.
You're saying, get out there and swim.
Just kicking the baby out. Get out, baby.
I've fed you for 2 hours now. Get out.
Yeah, I'm done with you. I'm writing a new baby now.
No.
I'm into the baby making, not the baby nurturing. Wait, that sounded wrong.
Yeah, well, you know, I didn't want to jump in too far on that one.
I know. I like Deep Burrito called it scaffolding. I like it.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Now some of you are like, the squirrel died 2 weeks ago. Like we've now lost all. We're like, what song? I don't care about this anymore. Because because most of us are like, need the immediate satisfaction and validation of writing the song, recording the song, calling Hugh Caldwell and say, hey Hugh, will you put some guitar on this, please? And then
I just need eight bars on a Strat. Can you do me 8 bars on a Strat?
Just an E. Just anything in E.
Goldacre, will you play me an A minor?
Yeah.
Go on,
Right. And then you put it all together and you're like, look. And then you're like, yeah, everybody stand in front of a green screen. Let's go. And
Let's go. Well, I've got an idea for everybody. So all of you delicate flowers that need some immediate validation and need your
like me.
need your ego stroking every day or so, you know, with your wonderful creations, you know. Maybe the best thing to do is do a very little short as you're doing it. So as you're doing this, just do a very little short of you in the studio and just give them maybe one line from the chorus or one line from the verse or a picture of your knees while you're singing if you really want. Whatever you think is going to make the best short. But get your validation from that.
Okay.
Don't try and get your validation from the finished product before the finished product exists. That would be my advice.
Right.
And then you still get your validation, but what you actually do then is when you put out the final product and it's awesome, because it's going to be awesome after we've handed it to Hubs and we've got Goldacre to play an A minor. After we've done that, it's going to be awesome, isn't it? So you can get your momentary validation of the short, and then not only that, they're waiting for the final mix. So when the final mix comes out, you get twice as much validation, and they're even more gushing with you.
Ooh.
So your short becomes like musical foreplay.
Ooh.
Are you with me?
I'm hearing you.
Up here, mate. Up here for
Right,
thinking.
right.
Down there for dancing with the Cuban English,
Right.
You know? So that'd be my advice to you. Get all that instant what do you call it? That happy drug. Dopamine.
The dopamine. That's my favorite drug.
Phone, straight through your wrist from your mobile phone into your brain from people who love your shorts.
Yeah. Andy.
And as well, it's a really good
way.
way of doing your PR. So
Michelle.
when you're doing your PR for your stuff, always leave them wanting more. So never give them everything. Always leave them wanting a bit more. So just give them a taste of it. Give them a taste of it, and then say, well, no, if you want the rest, then you've got to play your part. You know.
Yeah, I think there's a part here for me that we're kind of going back to the beginning of the writing of the song, of the recording of the song, kind of more of the writing of the song kind of thing. I have noticed a tendency in myself I'm writing lyrics to start with, and I will, write a verse, and then I'll write another verse, and then I'll be like, oh, but now I want it to be like this, and so I've written now I have 7 verses. And I'm like, these are all great. I love them all. These are all beautiful verses, and they're genius. And we got to listen to them all because I am Bob Dylan. And so, and then here's my overly complicated chorus. And so I'm like, all right, here we go. So I've done the song, and I'm like recording the song, and now it's 8.5 minutes long. And, and I'm like, this is a great song, but it's 8.5 minutes long. So I have learned that, there's really I've been trying to be more in that maybe a Bill Withers style where it's a 2.5 minute song, or it's, I'm coming in, I'm telling you the important shit, and then I'm going home, and I'm not dilly-dallying around. We don't need to say things 18 times. And so some of that is me cutting out, okay, what part of these verses, what really stands out? What's the strongest one? What do I need to say?
Sorry, but Empirism's just said 8.5 minute long warm-ups. For Empirism, that's
For
true.
Empirism,
actually,
this is true.
And Andy says that I think the squirrels have left the town at this point. They've left Springfield.
Yeah, I did. Urban sent me a really good hip hop track that I really liked all their parts. Like they had really good, like here's a verse section and chorus section and bridge section. And they're all really cool sections. But it was like 5.5 minutes, Herbs.
Steady on. Steady on. Come on.
I like had this like it's long. Like I have to have a bathroom break in the middle of this song. It's because I do think it's easy to, when you're writing a song, to like kind of be like, this is how long it'll be, and then it's 7 minutes, but when it's your song, baby, it doesn't feel too long. It feels like this is awesome, and everyone will want to sit here for 7 minutes and listen to this. But to get it where it's a succinct song and it's really cut down to like its essence, then it does that ability of leaving people wanting more.
Yes. Well, they want to play it again. So
right.
If they want to listen to your song for 7 minutes, if it's a 2.5 minute song, they can play it 3 times.
Right. And also, when you're recording the song, if you have to do it 18 times to do the Mr. Smith method, then then you hate yourself by the second time.
No, it's
but
great.
if you've got, I was trying to say like how long, like "Lovely Day" is one of my favorite Bill Withers songs, and it's I think it's 3 minutes long, or sub 3 minutes. It's like his original version of it.
That used to be an industry rule, didn't it? Because you never got more than 3 minutes on the radio. That was just a deal.
Yeah.
And especially as well in the 50s with the rock and roll days, you got even less. That's why the rock and roll tracks are often 2 minutes and 5 seconds long. I think Jailhouse Rock is 2 minutes 15. Pretty sure.
Right. And and it gives
Eddie
you
Cochran songs.
Yeah,
get
and
really short.
Sometimes it's not, it's often really good to be a short song. Not always. It's not for it's not a rule, but consider, is your song too long? Just consider.
Yes. Yeah.
Do I need this length? Could I get off on something smaller? Stop me.
Well, so E-Urban knows this as well, because we originally met via another couple of networks, originally through a channel that was called Gear Gods, and we often used to go to streams where people were sending in songs, and the guy on the stream was one of the first things that we'd really say is, fuck me, why have you sent me a 7 minute song? I'm not going to listen to that. So it kind of puts somebody off in the first place. Getting to the point and not over-egging the pudding is usually the best way.
I'm always saying don't over-egg the pudding. I just say that every day.
You've never heard that before, have you?
No. So D Burrito says 2 minutes 30 is the limit of the average human stamina in rock and roll dancing. I like that idea. Michelle says Ain't No Sunshine is just over 2 minutes.
There you go.
Andy says I can barely last 3 minutes, but I don't think we're talking about the same thing.
Probably not. No. So officially, Andy needs to be shushed. He usually gets shushed in David's chat, but I think this is the first time he's been shushed here.
Right. Oh, Keith brings up, we were talking about this, No American Pie for You. And this is definitely, this is what we were talking about, this exact song and this idea of this. It's for this song and this thing, I wouldn't change a thing about it, because for people who love American Pie, they know every word, every nonsensical phrase, every weird melody thing, every time change of thing that's happening.
I'm sorry, but Michelle's just appeared in the chat and said, shush, Andy.
Michelle for the win.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and 5
Honestly.
seconds is the. I thought you were going to say 5 minutes is the average attention span. Yeah, you're right. It is about 5 seconds.
It's about 5 seconds now.
Deep Burrito loves playing drums to American Pie, and it's a great song. So this is not like, there are many songs which are you're a prog rock song. If you're not 12 minutes, are you even prog rock? I don't think so.
Well, do you not think that, like we talked about before, has anyone called Mr. Smith a twat yet? No, well, do it, please, Herbs, do it, just do it.
We only got 5 more minutes, so you better do it fast.
We've got 5 minutes. Go on, get it out of your system now.
Now is the time.
Everybody type Smithy's a twat in the chat.
Bossy too. It didn't show. Hold on, I have to show it.
What?
Okay,
Show
I forgot
what?
I'm the mod over here too. I wasn't modding.
Oh, right, okay, all right. Well, yeah, so American Pie is... it stands out as a bit of a one-off track because American Pie is really long and it has 3 very, very long verses in it. But they justify themselves to the... Is it twat or chwat? Swat! Listen, mate, just because I've got a Scouse accent, don't take the piss, all right? Yeah? It's just twat, however you want to call it, all right? Don't get picky, mate.
You sound a little Irish to me when you get real heavy in it. Okay. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. Length of songs.
You're just reading the chat.
I was length of songs.
It's American Pie.
American Pie
is a bit of a one-off because the melody and the chord structure to American Pie is so good that it can justify 3 very long verses, and I think that's the only reason it gets away with it.
Yes, it does. And
whereas
you can,
a lot of Bob Dylan songs with 17 stanzas in them, where he's just banging away on the guitar on the same 3 chords.
They could be edited down.
You get bored.
And actually, sometimes when I do some of these songs, like if I'm doing Shelter from the Storm, or if I'm doing a hard Rain's Gonna Fall, I'm not singing all those.
No,
I'm singing my favorite parts, and that's it.
Yeah.
We're not, because it's too much, Bob. It's great that you have a rhyming dictionary, but they don't have to use every word in the dictionary that rhymes.
Correct.
With
Nice one, Mix
rain.
Club. I'll see you later, buddy.
See you later.
Thanks for being around.
Get some fun dip.
Yeah, but, all right, so before we end the show as well, let's just get a few things in. So coming up next is Pole Vault.
Pole vaults. Weekend
For
warm
your
up.
delectation. Yep, weekend warm up with Pole Vault. And following Pole Vault is Laurie's Mishmosh. And she's doing the Friday Night Hang. And she's also doing the Backing Track Challenge tonight as well. So get yourselves over there. I think that's at midnight Eastern time, isn't it?
It is, it is.
It is. And then following that at 2 o'clock Eastern time is Gary Hubbs with the House Wrecker episode number 48 from the best car park in the world.
It is really nice.
With Hubsy and the Sparkle Jar as well. So let's all try and get... it's difficult for me to get to Hubsy's stuff because it's 7 in the morning. I am a bit of a psychopath and I am up late at night, but that is taking it a bit far for me.
I watch the next day because I'm old and go to bed.
That's what I do. That's exactly what I do. It's one of the first things I do the next day with a cup of coffee is watch Hubsy stuff because what a guy as well. He's such a lovely man.
He is a lovely man.
He's the sweetest, isn't he?
He really is. I like me some Hubsy. I'm a fan.
Yeah, and speaking of that as well, so thank you tonight to everybody who's been in the chat and who's spent the last couple of hours listening to our nonsense. Hopefully, though, you've got a really helpful list that will enable you to at least get some kind of coherent, simple demo together that you'll be able to pass on to people and hold your head up.
Yeah, and, put it out. Let's hear it. Let's, share it. And, you can always share, like if you have a SoundCloud, I think is a especially good place to have, versions of your song that you're working up towards. And you can share them on SoundCloud really easily and label them as such. And they're not a permanent version. And, say who cooked the chicken with a Scouse accent, says Hugh.
Who cooked the chicken, mate? Who cooked it? What are you talking about, mate? Why are we talking about chicken?
I hope you enjoyed that. Hugh, if you could also find Pole Vault's actual link and put it up. I don't have. I'm glad you're here. I can't open another window without busting this whole thing wide open. I didn't think about it. So I put Pole Vault's channel, which I just know, but I don't know the actual video link. So that would be amazing if you could do that. So yeah. Well, you got the chicken. So it's time. It's 8 o'clock here, which is 10 o'clock there on the East Coast.
Vault, yeah.
And time for pole vault, dead pole vault, and we can warm up. So we will see you on, I'll be at What the Flock on Sunday morning. And then you will be Tuesday for your drum stream.
Yes.
Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And, and then we will also
thank you.
be over at Pole Vaults too, I think. I know I'll be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will. Well, thank you to everybody who's watching the replay as well. Like, comment, subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe. Leave us a comment. Hit the like button. Thanks everybody for being in the chat. Seagull, I hope you're still listening out there.
Sorry.
Let's start again. Let's start again next time. Yeah, and everything's cool. Yeah. All right.
Thank you, Hugh.
Thank you, Hugh. You're an absolute star for that. And we'll see you over all at Pole Vault's channel. Valerie, thank you for this.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's so much fun, and I learn a lot about what I do wrong.
Me too.
All right, everybody, have a great evening. We will see you over at Pole Vault, and then at Lori's, and then at Gary's. Bye, everybody.
See you later, folks. Bye.